One Piece has been enjoyable to read ever since Wano was finished. Now, obviously it was enjoyable during Wano, but I am liking Egghead Island more because I enjoy One Piece when they give information and stuff like that, because I read One Piece for the information. I mean, the fighting and all that stuff is cool, but the information we're getting in this arc is pretty damn good. Now, Oda always has a way of making an island interesting. Now, the designs are always cool. Somehow he always does it, and I think even Alabasta, it looking so dry and sandy and all that, Oda was able to still make that island interesting the way it looked, right? I just don't know how he does it. Every island just seems to be kind of cool. I don't know. I mean, Fishman Island is a pretty decent island, but I think Egghead Island might be my favorite island. So let's get into the recent chapters. So you guys know by now, like every month I talk about the chapters that we released like in this month and so on. So we have 1065, 1066 and 1067. I believe there's a break after 1067, so yeah, let's just get into it. So in 1065 we learned that there's an alternative fuel, or a fuel that is eternal flame or something like that, and I think this is where Sabo might come in. Now, I know a lot of people think it might be Luffy, and because he's the sun god, but Luffy has never been shown to have that ability to make fire in that way. I mean he can produce fire with Red Hawk and all that, but he can't produce fire willingly just like Sabo can. And I think this might tie into Sabo. Maybe both of them actually might do something, because Sabo's now called the Flame Emperor, and I think that's kind of interesting. And the mere fact that Shanks took a lot of interest in Ace back in the day, most likely because of his devil fruit, and this devil fruit might actually have great importance in the story, and that's why maybe Oda centered the story of Dressrosa around that devil fruit. It might have great significance in the story. What I like the most about this arc, and ever since we left Wano, is the humor, bro. I just enjoy watching the Straw Hats interact in this way. I really missed it. I missed it for a very long time, because in Dressrosa the Straw Hats weren't together. In Whole Cake Island the Straw Hats weren't together, then they got separated again, and then obviously even in Wano we didn't get a lot of Straw Hat interactions like with the whole crew together, like not a lot, because they were always doing some other stuff. Like you had Robin infiltration, you know, you had Nami sneaking around, we had Brook also looking for the poneglyph or yada yada. It was just like everybody was just separated doing their own thing. I'm glad that they're together now, even though, you know, you have one group on one side and this group with Logic or Shaka. I think the reason why Oda did that was just so that he can give us information a lot faster, because if the whole crew was just with Shaka, then we'd have to all come here into this ancient giant place, ancient robot. So he's just trying to divide these guys up so we can just get the information faster, so the story can just move on a little bit more faster, and I like that. Also, in terms of the humor, Usopp, bro, I'm so glad that Usopp is getting humorous moments in the story. Like his comment about him being Vegapunk is just funny, and I honestly think there's something to it. I don't know what it is, but whenever Usopp says something happens. I expect Usopp to act like Vegapunk with something to fool Rob Lucci. I don't know, but because, like, let's not forget, they don't know that Sogeking is Usopp, right? Because last time I checked, they never met Usopp. They only know Sogeking. So I wouldn't be surprised if Usopp does this whole thing of, hey, I'm Vegapunk, because they don't know he's Usopp. Like they were not there to see him remove his mask and all that, because all of them are knocked out, right? So they don't know that Sogeking is Usopp. So something might come at play here. The Seraphim Jinbei being given Senor Pink's devil fruit is actually a big step in the story. I always felt that the Don Quixote family were trash. Besides Sugar, I think Sugar's kind of cool. Now, speaking on Sugar, I can't imagine how OP the Seraphim with Sugar's devil fruit would be, because Sugar was already OP in terms of her devil fruit, but add combat ability to that, add skill, and it just becomes a whole different playing field, bro. So hopefully we might see a Seraphim with Sugar's devil fruit, because I expect all the Seraphims to have the Don Quixote family devil fruits besides Doflamingo's devil fruit, or maybe that's possible too. I don't know. Mihawk's devil fruit, the Seraphim of course, might be Pika's. I don't know how to feel about that one though. Might be Pika's, or maybe no. Maybe I think maybe that might be Boa's devil fruit, like Pika's devil fruit, because like Boa can turn people to stone, so it's most likely like that. Seraphim can also turn herself into stone or something like that. I just can't wait. I don't know who's gonna get what devil fruit. Like imagine a crocodile Seraphim with, I don't know whose devil fruit. I forgot some of the devil fruits because they were so bad. But whoever has Treble's devil fruit and Sugar's devil fruit, they will be OP, because Treble's devil fruit is actually OP. People sleep on that devil fruit because Treble's a horrible character. Like I said, the whole family just stinks, right? They blow. What I also liked about the Jinbei Seraphim interaction is how the Straw Hats hesitated to attack the Seraphim because it looks like Jinbei, and this just goes back to how Bonnie feels about the Seraphim Kuma. It's not that they don't know that's a Seraphim or a pacifista. It's just the mere fact that it looks like someone that they love, and it's so difficult to just fight against that. We've seen this before. It's not the first time we see this. We've seen this before, like with Mr. 2 and the whole Sanji fight, but that was mostly based on because like Sanji is a simp for women. So yeah, and with the Seraphim, now we know why Zoro stayed on the ship, because we definitely know Zoro wouldn't hesitate to fight that Seraphim. So him staying on the ship now makes sense, because Zoro would have definitely fought the Seraphim, no hesitation. We know how Zoro is. He doesn't care. He's just a beast, man. We remember we saw this in Punk Hazard. We saw what he did to Monet. So yeah. Then 1066, which is my favorite chapter. Like in this arc, I won't say all-time favorite chapter, because like I think one of my favorite chapters in One Piece, I don't know which one it is, because like there's so many cool moments in One Piece, but it's most probably the Roger chapter. He left, I don't know, but this chapter is like so cool though. I like 1066 a lot because one of my theory came right and all that, but we get into that. So first of all, the Straw Hats find out the truth about the world government formation and all that stuff, the war against the ancient kingdom, and I was always wondering how they would find out about this stuff, and now we know that this is how they find out, and I think that's pretty cool that they finally know. And this might be setting up the whole Emu versus Luffy scenario, because people want Emu to be the final villain and not Blackbeard. I wonder why. I just find it weird. I would appreciate, or I would like it more for Blackbeard to be the final villain. I don't know how you feel. Besides, I actually don't think any of them are the final villain, but I'll talk about that another time. And then we find out that the Marines incarcerated Clover 10 times and let him go. The Marines are fucking useless. I don't even want to swear, but they are so useless. I'm so tired of the incompetence of this organization. Like, they literally have Doflamingo still alive. Doflamingo still alive, Impel down. What is the point of that? Like, if he gets free, he can just tell niggas about the secret treasure. Like, why do the Marines do this? Someone please explain why. And then we get Vegapunk's design in this chapter. Whew. Order, bro. Wow, what was that? Like, it's not even just about the head. I was expecting something else. Like, for example, when they showed that scene with Vegapunk, you know, doing stuff with Kuma, I didn't expect this. Okay, yeah. And then the Ohara incident. You know, a few months after the Ohara incident, we get Dragon. Finally, some Dragon backstory. But here's the thing, right? When they introduce Dragon, they introduce him as a freedom fighter. That means he was already fighting against the Marines or something, maybe politically or something like that at first before starting an army. So it just shows that Dragon was never on the side of the Marines even before the Revolutionary Army was formed. And I wonder what happened before the freedom fighter stuff that actually motivated him to do all of this, because he could have easily been a Marine, right? I actually wonder if he's actually Garp's son. I truly do, but we will see. And we learned that Saul is alive and probably the man marked by flames. Now I came up with a theory on Twitter a month ago that actually shows you why I believe this, and it came right in this chapter 1066. He's bandaged, the man marked by flames in my opinion, and he's alive. I will put the link in the description down below to that thread that I made about the whole man marked by flames theory, Saul being alive, and also how sword comes into play. The link will be in the description down below. And then we have 1067 to conclude this month's One Piece chapters. First of all, let's just start with Jinbei. How does Jinbei always know stuff? Like, he's like, I've heard about your head being big. I didn't know it was that big. Like, where did you hear the stuff? Jinbei always knows stuff. How? Like, I don't get it. Where does he learn this stuff from, bro? Where does Jinbei learn this stuff from? And when Vegapunk is explaining stuff, I almost said Einstein because they look the same. When Vegapunk is explaining stuff, I know for a fact Luffy isn't understanding anything. I know for a fact my boy Luffy is blacked out right now. He doesn't understand anything. And then Vegapunk says the devil fruit is a failure, all because it's pink. How did he find out about the dragon? Well, that's because Grimble is a snitch, and most probably that's why they're coming to kill him, because Grimble probably snitched on Vegapunk for lying about the devil fruit being a failure, and now they're gonna take him out because of that. Grimble is the worst character in One Piece in my opinion. Like, people talk about Kid. Grimble just sucks, bro. How a Grimble and Fujitora are cool. I don't get it. How does that relationship even work? I don't get it. We tend to forget that Sword are still on the island somewhere. I don't know how that's gonna play out with Sword, CPO, the Straw Hats, Tashigi as well. I can't wait for that interaction. Where's Smoker, by the way? Yeah, I want to see Smoker. We haven't seen Smoker. I want to see Smoker. That's gonna be a cool interaction between him and Luffy. And the chapter finishes off with Kuma running off to somewhere. I don't think he's running off to Egghead Island. I think he's trying to run to Sabo instead. Like he's trying to tell the Revolutionary Army that, yo, Sabo's in trouble, he might be dead, instead of going to Bonnie. I don't know. What do you guys think about all these revelations we've had in the recent chapters? I really enjoy the current chapters in One Piece. I really enjoy this arc. It might be my favorite arc alongside Skypiea because of the information, because I read One Piece for the lore and information. So leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one, man. Peace.